Hey YouTubers, this is Nurse J at Nursing the Truth, and it is Friday, thank goodness, the end of the week, and I am still on my Halloween series, if you want to be tricked or if you want to be treated. So I'm going to try to do this up until October 31st, and this is going to be part 2 of the Devil's Pulpit. Now you're like, well, Nurse J, why are you tricking and treating us? What is this? Well, you can take whatever side you want to. You can take the red pill, or you can take the blue pill, or you can just not take anything at all. So what I'm doing is I'm actually reading you excerpts out of the Devil's Pulpit book by Reverend Robert Taylor. And as I explained in part 1, this man was actually in the priesthood in England. And as he got in there, he started seeing things that were not true or right, and that these wicked, forked-tongued priests were preaching about a historical man or a mortal man, when actually all of this things in our Bible was allegorical, astral theology, astrology, that our ancient ancestors from all the way back to Samaria to Egypt. Now behind me is God Thoth, Anubis, and Bastet, and my chakra brown candle. And I'm going to read you some things. So, was Judas Iscariot the devil? Was he the son of perdition? Or was Judas just doing his rightful job as the master Jesus wanted him to do? Because in all actuality, if you read the scriptures, if Judas did not do what Jesus told him to do, then there would be no salvation, you see. So Judas, the time is at hand. Do what you must do, and go quickly. Oh, my truth seekers, you shall read your 4 Gospels and the Acts of the Apostles. Now, what this reverend said, he says, and hence, not only the names of Peter, Andrew, James, and John, and the rest of them, but the name of Judas Iscariot, one of the names that many named demon. I told you this was a demonic episode, by which was never meant anything else than the Son himself. The name Judas is the same name as Judah, generally translated the praise of the Jew. That is, of the Lord, is a compound of the 2 Ammonian names of God, i.e., UE, pronounced Levi, whence the pagan god Jove, and the Christian Jehovah. And des, the day, the god of day, and Iscariot, signifying he cuts off or exterminates, as the month of June puts an end to the sun's farther ascension and begins to shorten all days. This constellation, upon being personified as they all are, gets the allegorical character of a murderer. And the field or portion of the heavens in which the sign of the zodiac is literally hanged. And where, aesthetically speaking, it hanged itself, gets the allegorical name of Al-Qadama, which is the light, universal blood, or the field of blood. Remember that he had the 30 shekels of silver, excuse me. And he buys this potter's field. Now, I told you, do you want the red pill? Or do you want the blue pill in the Matrix? Or do you just want to be stuck in the middle? If you are a Christian and you stumbled upon this video, thank you so much for taking the time to listen. A little bit of background: I was a Christian. I was in the church all my life. And almost 3 years ago, something started clicking, and I really started diving into everything and tearing it apart. And thank goodness for other preachers and people of the same walk started questioning. I'm thankful for that. Thank you that I'm out of the brainwashing. Thank you so much. So, just hear me out. I'm quoting from a book. A man was born in the late 1700s, and he was giving his lectures in the early 1800s. This is way before they found the Sumerian text, tablets, before they found the Ugarit tablets at Rosh Hashanah in Syria. He had already figured this out. Because the priesthood already had this information, you see. They stole everything. They knew what this was. Because you got to understand, men back then, they lived by the stars. And they knew by the stars. And we are so oblivious to the stars nowadays, my friends. So if anything was to happen in the stars, in the heavens, we wouldn't know what was about to hit us if we were staring it in the face. We're lost. We are lost. So as the name Jesus, he says, itself is really none other than the ancient Persian name for the sun. Yes, listen to me, please. Please. With a Latin termination, the radical word itself, I, E, signifying I, the one, the alone, and ES, the fire. That is the one great fire, which is the sun, and which is worshipped under the name Hercules, compounded of the light, the universal fire, which was the same Jesus Christ, and under the name Asclepius, compounded of the fire, the universal Father, which was the same Jesus Christ, and under the Greek name of Apollo, that is apart the many, which was the same Jesus Christ, and under the Latin of soul or solus, the one, the alone, which is the same Jesus Christ. I told you in my series that Yahweh was the sun. You see, in the Old Testament, Yahweh, Adonis, Adonai, Aten. Remember Akhenaten? He's your real biblical Moses. And he worshipped the Aten. And then it was turned to Adonai. And then as time goes on, this Yahweh, because J wasn't invented at that time. Jehovah, Jove. Oh, the sun. The Lord is a consuming fire. Well, wait a minute. A man, a heavenly Father, an entity, is a fire? Oh, I guess he's the flamethrower now. A consuming fire is a fireball, a star. The sun is nothing but a star. Think about it. We're children of the light. We are stardust. We come from the star. We come from the sun. We are his children. We are nothing but energy trapped into matter, and when we leave this physical bondage, we go back to whence we came. And under the reverentially repeated name of On, the being, the one, the being, the self-same deity that the sun was worshipped by the ancient Egyptians. God help us. I told you repeatedly, without a shadow of a doubt, that my ancestors, my soul goes to the Egyptians. Ancient, not today's Egyptians. The ancients. My soul is an ancient Egyptian soul. I feel it. I get drawn to it. I get pulled to it. I embrace it. I've been there. And I assure you, you go, you will find what you're looking for. They are on ley lines of a magnetic energy. And when you touch these temples, as I have, and you touch the pyramids of Giza, and you just wonder in awe, how magnificent is thou? And knowing that Heliopolis is a suburb of Cairo, they worshipped and repeated the name of On. O-N, the being, the one, the self-same deity, the sun, was worshipped by them. As the sun, the sacred name, onion. Now, you going, Jane, now, you're going off a little bit. You're saying on, but then you're going to go onion, right? As the sacred name onion was also the name of the great temple of the sun at Heliopolis. This gave occasion to those whose object was to inquire into the real meaning of things as little as possible, to accuse the ancient Egyptians of worshiping onions. Everything the ancient Egyptians did was not just to do. Just think about it. Do you think that these people, these gods, built something just for the hell of it? That's kind of like, me building a chair, but me not sitting in it. No. They always had a reason for every single thing that they did. And the universe gave them consciousness and told them what to do. The onion receiving that Egyptian name from the curious analogy that if you can cut through it horizontally, the two sections present a resemblance of the solar system. The sun is the center, and the orbits of the plants, which evolve around it, making up the whole substance of the root. Thus, by looking at it, you may contemplate heavenly wonders, and by smelling at it, you may shed tears of as sincere devotion as any sensible man could wish to shed. And if, after having looked at it and smelt it, you should have a mind to eat it, it would be the most sensible way, he says, I know of taking the sacrament. Wow. Have you ever looked at vegetables or anything like that when you cut into them? Like, you know, apples, oranges, grapefruits, bell peppers, anything like that. It's funny because you can cut into some of these fruits and vegetables, and the way they almost look like your internal organs. Heart, liver, lungs, kidneys. And what is so fascinating about it is the universal consciousness creator. You can eat those certain things, like garlic and onions, and they have very high healing properties where you don't need pharmaceutical drugs. The universal consciousness of the Creator has everything you ever need and want and desire. But, as I said in my video, they killed women for herbs and oils. And by today's definition, still in play in the roll books of the Catholic Church, we are deemed as witches and warlocks. If, my dear friends, you use essential oils, or you have your herbs and spices to make a nice concoction for the flu, you are a witch. That's okay by me because Nurse J does that. So, I hope you have enjoyed this video. Judas Iscariot, the demon or not. I've told you all allegorical story and where this name comes from and the consuming fire, which the ancient Egyptians already knew. So anyway, I hope you've taken the right pill today. And as always, when you search for the truth and you find the truth, let the truth set you free, my friends. And with the gods behind me, Hotep and Ashe, and we'll see you with another video shortly. Have a great day.